Muskegon, Michigan, this is Tiger Talks Wrestling.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tiger Talks Wrestling. I am your host, Tony. I don't know that anybody really even seen that I was going to be on here live, but we'll see if anybody joins in here in the chat section or not in a few minutes. No viewers right now, so we'll just wait and see. I did let some people know on Twitter and Facebook that I was going to be live just for a random show, but we'll see if anybody decides they want to come in and ask any questions, because I did say I'd answer any questions as well. But first things first, for anybody watching this later on, since nobody's watching right now, I just want to mention a couple things. I was very happy with how things went with Drew Hood with the returning episode that we had a couple nights ago. I felt that things went very smoothly with Drew. Had a nice time chatting with him and a few other guys afterwards, so it was a great time. Hey, Riley, good to see you. Glad somebody at least seen that I was going to be on. This is nothing special, just a little update and random stuff, pretty much. So, but if you got any questions for me, I'll take them, Riley. No, I don't have anybody else coming on here either. This is just me for a little bit. Again, was happy with the way things went with Drew Hood on the returning episode a couple nights ago. And I'm looking forward to next week's episode when I have Damon Scar from BCW on here, former member of the Outcast. He's looking forward to it, as am I. So that should be a ton of fun. Now, one of the main reasons I decided I wanted to do this little video, last night I was actually watching, you might get a kick out of this, but I was watching Tommy Dong's karaoke video. And happened to see he pretty much called me out at the end of it. Still trying to get me for Best in the Yard. Tell you this much, there's two problems with that. One, I haven't officially been invited to come to Best in the Yard and have to have the address before I could go. And two, don't know if I have the money to attend the show yet. But he just keeps pestering me on Facebook and now doing that on YouTube. I just felt like I needed to mention something about it. If I do get the chance to go to YouTube, trust me, Ty, we'll see each other. I'll say that much. Put that much out there. But yeah, that was the main thing. I got a new show that will be debuting here shortly. I don't know for sure when, but it's going to be a Rivals show. One of the first episodes, if not the first episode, will actually feature VTW Reunion Rumble winner Chase Bridges and the VTW World Champion, whomever that is after Fury, either Jamal Payne or Casey Chambers. I want to make sure I got that one right. Better be Jamal, but we'll see. Riley wants to know, what do I think of WWE's Fastlane? They have to deal with John Cena in the, what was a Fatal 5-Way, now it's a six-pack challenge. Well, I don't know. Not a big fan of it. I think it's just a match that they threw together for just to have something to take them into WrestleMania. We already know Cena's not going to win it, so pretty certain it's going to be AJ and Nakamura at WrestleMania. But I guess they had to find something for John to do since he was going to be at Fastlane. But yeah, it's a good question. Also want to say there's been so much backyard wrestling product out there for people to watch. You guys should be watching all of it, or as much of it as you can. I know I don't catch everybody's. I get King Dominator messages me quite often on Twitter, and I don't really catch his stuff that often, but I'm not, sorry to say it, he might get offended by it, but I'm not that big of a fan of what he does. So, not when they don't use a trampoline or a ring, they just wrestle in their living room, I think was one of the last things I've seen. But who do I hope goes into the Royal Rumble next year? Oh, that's too far away. I couldn't pick anybody specific. Women's wise, I'd love to see AJ Lee return, but then again, on the men's side, I'd also love to see our husband CM Punk return, but I don't think either one of those is going to happen. So that's for that. What I was going to mention is the backyard wrestling that we've seen. I mean, this last week alone, you had NUW's Road to Gold 2, which was amazing. Very good job by Nevon McDonald and company, Yankee, difference maker. And that was an amazing main event they had. But the match that I felt was the match of the night, which I've mentioned on their YouTube page, was the Triple Threat Continental Championship match between Mike Fresh, Midnight Moon, and the Pitbull, JJ Cordero. Now, besides that, we've also had VTW's had a couple episodes out in the last 2 weeks. So for Vindication, make sure you go back and watch those if you haven't yet. They were pretty decent and shocking moments on both shows. So definitely. And if you haven't, go back and watch Reunion Rumble as well. And you'll see the FTC's downfall, I guess you could say, or breakup anyway, which was shocking, surprising. Did not see that coming by a long shot. Hopefully things will get resolved between those three at some point. Hey, Justin, good to see you. If you got any questions, go ahead and put them in there as well. Like I told Riley and mentioned, I'll take any questions, answer them. Doesn't matter. Not going to be on here too long, probably, but as long as you guys want to keep asking questions, I'll do it. Ooh, who do I want to see win in the matches in VTW Fury? You know, off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to think of all the matches. If either one of you want to put the matches in there, and then I'll give you a prediction on who I think is going to win in each one of them. Then I'll do that much. But also, besides VTW, while you guys are doing that, I already did mention I hope Jamal Payne beats Casey Chambers in the main event. But I'll say that much. But besides VTW and NUW, you also had DBW had Thursday Night Thunder Punch episode 2 last night. BCW and NWF Adrenaline have both been pumping out product quite a bit. And speaking of NWF Adrenaline, make sure you tune into their page tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. They got a new episode coming up, their last show before Showdown 2. Yeah, so that's been good stuff from all those guys. I'm sure UWE will be returning in the next month or couple months, and that'll be good. We've been seeing a little bit from Proving Ground, and they've been on a roll heading into Stand Your Ground, I believe is the name of the next event. Getting back to the VTW Fury question, I know off the top of my head, one of the other matches is Chase Bridges getting his rematch for the YouTube title against Kevin Shaw. I honestly haven't caught the entire episode of Vindication yet from the other night, but I know they had a little altercation that led into that match. I'd kind of like to see, it might be unpopular since Kevin Shaw is now the heel, but I kind of like to see Kevin retain it. No offense to Chase, but Chase could kind of use the win though too going into Mania, but I still think Kevin's going to retain the YouTube title one way or another. And then you got, you got Alva versus the Bad Sons for the tag team titles, I believe as well. Or no, not for the tag team titles. Sorry, non-title match. That one, I'd like to see Alpha actually win. I'm digging Alpha, so I think Zach and Dustin could be a very good team together. We've only seen them once, but I think they can be pretty unstoppable if they get on the same page. And you got the FTC's Cameron Jackson and Drew Hood versus K9 and Matt Maverick. K9 and Matt have had Cam and Drew's number, but I think the FTC is going to get the win in this one. They need the momentum heading into Mania. Yep, I got those matches. I don't know if I missed any matches. Oh, yeah, Aaron Jones is going against Dale Blackwell. Damn, that one. That was tough. I mean, it's Dale's first singles match in VTW. Then Aaron Jones is veteran, so it's not going to be easy for either man. I think I'll pick Dale to get the upset in that one. But we'll see. No offense to Aaron, but I'll go with Dale. I don't believe there's any other matches. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think those are the only matches as of right now. I'd really like to see D'Lo Smith return at some point in the near future, but we'll see how long that takes before they'll bring him back. Need to see more of Dustin and D-Lock too, which we'll see more of Dustin, which is good. Theory. D-Lock's got to show up though first, I guess. Okay. So yeah, but besides that, any other questions from you guys? Any comments? Any other predictions? Good to see CWE. Who cares? What do I think of David Lowell calling out D-Lock? Well, I think it's a bold move on David's part. And I think it would be an awesome match to see David and D-Lock. And I hope it happens, to be honest with you. It'd just be David's first singles match in BTW if it happens. So I think it'd be a good thing for him, and I think it'd be a good match for D-Lock to have at Mania. Now we just got to get a response from D-Lock. That's the only problem, because David's put out 2 videos already and no response at all from Dylan. So how do I think NWF will be tonight? I think it'll be a good show. Not as, hate to knock them, but it's not as great as some of the other stuff, I'm sure. But it'll still be very good. And then I'm sure Showdown will be amazing when that comes out in a week or 2. Not a problem. I do that with most people. Like their posts. Now, let me put this out there. Let's talk a little bit about DBW, since they did have Thursday Night Thunder Punch last night. And these guys might not see these. I don't know if they will be seeing them or not. Some people might watch it later and some people might not. But Thursday Night Thunder Punch was a pretty good show. Maybe. I'll get into that in a minute. I felt that Hellhound and Samael had a good match. I'm not a fan of the double count out finish, but I understand it because they're both champions and they need a little bit of momentum heading into Total Domination 3. And then Casey James and Victor Van Pelt put on a pretty good performance in the main event, which wasn't surprising. They've had several matches in their old company, KWE, or whatever the crap it was, ECW at that point, I think, when they usually had their feuds, but not KWE, but still, somewhere around that. I get names mixed up, my bad, but still. Do I think Cage and Navon will have a best in the yard match because of what happened at Reunion? Good to see you, King Dominator. To answer your question, Riley, I think it'd be nice to see Cage and Navon, but I don't know that that's the match that'll happen at Best in the Yard. I'd be down for it. It'd be cool. We'll see. That's all I'll say. We'll see. I have no idea. No problem. Keep the questions coming. Back to DBW for a moment. For Total Domination 3, I want to give a prediction real quick for their penitentiary match. I think it's going to be something unique and different that we've probably never seen before in the backyard. And it's going to be tough to predict who will win it. I mean, you've got, RJ Carnage in there. You've got the Blaze in there. You've got Casey James, of course, the champion in there, Victor Van Pelt, Mr. Judgment, and then one of the 3 Outcasts. I believe it'll probably come down to Judgment and Casey James. That's the final two. And I'm going to go with maybe Casey James will somehow manage to pull it out. We'll see. But that's my prediction for it. Do I think BYW is wearing out? No, not at all. I don't think that at one bit. Do I think there needs to be more of a camaraderie between companies? Yes. Do I think people need to get along better? Yes. But no, I think there's way too much product out there in backyard wrestling for it to be wearing out right now. I think it's on a peak, in my opinion, on the upswing. Good questions, O'Reilly. I'm glad you're asking some questions. You're making this so it's a decent length video. If anybody else has any questions, put them in there as well. I'm more than happy to answer any questions, wrestling related or non-wrestling related for the most part. There might be some I won't answer that are non-wrestling related, but try to keep it wrestling related. Backyard, pro wrestling, I don't care in this video. I do have, as mentioned earlier, and I'll mention it again, Damon Scar will be on here from BBW and also LCW. Can't forget LCW because I think that's the main company that they'll be in. What do I think of ETW going indie? Do you mean because of their fatal four-way indie match that they had that Cameron posted the other night? Justin, you should have been in here at the beginning of it. I kind of mentioned that already, but I'll say it again. Timmy Dong, I watch his videos. They're hilarious. He's hilarious. But as I said at the beginning of this video, and I'll mention it again, I was watching this karaoke video last night. I saw the end of it, and he called me out. So I'm saying right on here again, two problems. One, I haven't necessarily been invited to Best in the Yard by anybody in VTW. And two, and part of that is also I'd have to know the address to attend if I did get the invite. And then two is I'm not sure if I've got the money to attend it. So, but Timmy Dong, he's a funny guy, but still, he should be barking up somebody else's tree instead of a guy that just watches and isn't an actual wrestler, in my opinion. As for VTW, I think it's great that those guys are getting a little indie time as well. Some of them might leave VTW and just go indie. I don't know. Some might try to juggle both. It's hard to tell. They've got the academy now, so we're going to be seeing, I have a feeling, a lot of new guys coming up too. So I don't think VTW is going to be in any trouble. Now, I'll address that. I will start by saying this. I haven't really watched NXT the last couple weeks, but I do know what happened. So I know what you're talking about, Johnny Gargano leaving NXT. I'm not sold or positive that he's actually done in NXT because last I heard, he and Tommaso Ciampa are supposed to be in the takeover, in a match of some sort at TakeOver WrestleMania weekend. So we'll see what happens there. Otherwise, I have a feeling he'll show up in the on 205 Live in the Cruiserweight division. Because I don't think they'd use him right on the main roster, either on Raw or SmackDown otherwise. But who knows? That could prove me wrong. I dare Vince to do so. Hopefully I answered your question good enough for you, Justin, about Timmy Dong. Like I said, if I do get the chance to go to Best in the Yard and he's there, we'll definitely see each other. That's for sure. All right. Now into... Oh, I do want to mention from NWF Adrenaline, since somebody had mentioned something about that earlier, and I mentioned it too. I was very shocked and surprised a couple weeks ago with the retirement of AJ Gagliardo. I seen him in person when I was at When Worlds Collide, and I thought he was a very talented guy. Mr. Awesome, nice to see you in here, but no, that wouldn't be what Timmy Dong would be saying from me. I don't really like him. however crap you want to put it. Now I was kind of hoping he would have been in here, but not happening. That's okay though. Tommy Dong's a interesting fella. Let's put it that way. How do I feel about 2K games? I'm all right with 2K games. I think they've done an okay job with the WWE video games. I don't really play a whole lot of games other than WWE games, so I can't base it off of much else besides that. I believe they could work to improve them, though. I've seen before where people have suggested maybe taking a year off and doing it every other year or something like that, and might get a better product. But I don't know. I enjoy playing it, so that's what I feel about it. And do we need a BYW video game? I would love to see somebody come up with a BYW video game. I just think it would be great to have the opportunity for that to be out there. I know Harry Likes Wrestling at one point created some videos of it and had talked about it. And I also know Mark Williams of BCW had mentioned that he was in the process of making one at one point as well a couple of years ago. I'd love to see it come to fruition, but I just don't know that it ever will, to be honest with you. I think it'd be great if it did. Just think if it did, the notoriety, if you've seen people buying the video game and then playing it, you might get even more eyes on Backyard Wrestling. I mean, who wouldn't really want to play something like that? You got all these different match types. You could have several different arenas, different looks to everything. I think it could be done. I wouldn't be the person to do it because I have no skills at that kind of stuff, but it's like I have no skills when it comes to a bunch of other things. That's why other people are working on like these logos that you see on the page from J Joker Designs. Great job with those. I'd never be able to do that. So kudos to him. And kudos to some other guys that do all the editing and stuff for Backyard Wrestling, because I don't know that how well I would be at that. It takes skills. They've got a lot of skills for that stuff. So ooh. Riley. Good question again. Do we need Backyard Wrestling to have a television show, and what would the name be if we had it? When I had Drew on here the other night, he mentioned something about Backyard Wrestling used to be on television. I think it'd get more eyes on him, yes. I couldn't give you a name for it. I would say, and that's just tough. There's so many companies out there, and it'd just be tough to pick one, if not several of them, to put on there. So I think that's too broad of a spectrum, really, for that one. But yeah, I'd be fine with that. I'd watch it if it was on television, whether it be early in the morning, late at night, or whatever time of the day. I think it would do them wonders. Could you just imagine if somebody had a Backyard Wrestling? Let's take VTW, for example. They got their VTW channel, VTW Extra. Just think if they had VTW on television as well, whether that be just in North Carolina or throughout the world somewhere on some channel. There'd be even more eyes on them. And then when Best in the Yard comes around, there'd be even more eyes to be on to all these other companies and would make BYW even bigger. But there's a lot to go into that kind of stuff. So great questions, though. Right? That would be awesome. Anybody else with questions? No offense, but Riley's just asking all the questions here. Just about. Got a couple from a couple others, but I'm glad to see that a couple people seen that I was going to be on here live. I know it was kind of a last minute thing last night, and I just decided to throw it together. Hey, Yankee, good to see you, bro. Repping the MC, bud. I'll fix my camera. Yeah, Yankee, since you're just joining in, if you got any questions, go ahead and hit me up with them. I'll answer anything. Kind of what this is about. Again, one of the main parts of me coming in here was just saying I felt like I needed to address what Timey Dong was saying at the end of his karaoke video the other night, so which I have addressed a couple times. It won't be too long of a video, probably, but as long as you guys keep asking questions and keep commenting, then this will go on until we have nothing to work off of. No, that's not me. That'd be you, Yankee. Figured I was going to be on here today. Might as well wear the Murder Club shirt. Represent, since it's the only one other than the Zach Daniels shirt that I have from Backyard Wrestling. It's either that or wear a Sammy Guevara shirt, and I was like, let's go MC. He was saying something about Timey Dunn was saying something about seeing me at Best in the Yard in the pre-show. Can't remember his exact words now, but it was at the very, very end of his karaoke video that he posted last night, the night before, whatever it was. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. Are you asking how Yankee got his name, or how did I get my name since Yankee's now in the room? You gotta specify that one, Riley. So I have no idea. Now, Yankee, you just have to watch at least the very end of Timey Dong's YouTube video. Okay, you're asking how Yankee got his name. Well, Yankee can answer you then if he wants to. But go to Timey Dong's YouTube channel and watch it at the end of it. What's my review on your Road to Gold match with you and Levon McDonald, or King Asshole, as you put it? I thought it was a very good match. You've seen on Twitter what I felt about it, for one thing. And I thought you two tore into each other quite a bit, kicked the living hell out of each other pretty much. Like I said on Twitter, I want to see another match between the two of you. I don't think things are done between you. I know you'll dispute it, but he's got a tainted victory over you, and you've got a victory over him. I mean, it's kind of early to call it match of the year, but I think it'd be a candidate at the moment, yeah. I've already said for VTW, I thought they had one or two possible match of the year candidates at Reunion, or one match at least, yeah. So those two both would be up there for potential match of the year. Yeah, you would say you're 2-0, but I went over that with you on Twitter. I'm not gonna argue with you about it on here, Yankee, because your hand wasn't tied to the rope. So you beat Levon. But I still say there's got to be another match to determine who the victor is in that feud, rivalry, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I thought it was really good. Hey, I also said, and I'll mention it here, I wouldn't mind seeing you and one Jordan Oliver at some point as well. Do I think that Big Time Mike will come back? I don't think we've seen the last of Mike by any means, because he's going to have to deal with what Cam and Drew did to him one way or another. Whether or not that means he'll be in a match again, in a way, I'd kind of hope not, but I'd also would love to see him in the ring again. But we'll just have to wait and see. Trust me, I've seen a little more of it than what you guys have. So, well, some of you seen more than I have, I'm sure, between those three. But yeah, not gonna repeat that one, Yankee. We'll say NUW has been doing pretty well so far this year with their uploads too. So I've been pretty happy with what we've seen out of you guys. And I told Navan, and I'll mention it here as well. I think you and Navan, even though Drew mentioned the other night that you guys have taken a lot of airtime on NUW, I feel you guys have the best rivalry going on NUW programming right now. So, and that you both are bringing out the best in each other from what we've seen from you two in NUW lately. All right. When did I start to watch backyard wrestling? Good question. It was about this time 2 years ago, I believe. It was right around the time that WrestleCon happened, and that took place in APW Arena. It was just before that, because I started watching. I can't remember what exactly I was doing. I went on YouTube and I think I just searched wrestling and came across KBW, and from that I went and watched just about every video that KBW, pretty much in order, that KBW had posted. And then from there, I seen they posted a video that they were going to be Cage and AK-47, as in them, were going to be at WrestleCon. So I watched WrestleCon, and from there, I started watching VTW, started watching UWE, so on and so forth. Yeah, I'm ready for Stand Your Ground. I'm looking forward to seeing what that is going to partake and what's going to happen at it. Hey, Hayden H2, good to see you. Not much up at the moment. Yes, I'm looking forward to Adrenaline tonight. I addressed that earlier on, and I'll address it again. I think it's going to be a good show. Leading into Showdown 2. Yeah, we've seen some good stuff from, mention that we've seen some good stuff from you guys lately, and we've seen some good stuff from another Michigan company, that being a BCW, where you just last night beat Mark Williams, of course, and made him tap out. So no problem. When you come in late because you're working, it's fine. What do I think of your tweets to Navan on Twitter, Riley? Do I really have to go over it? I mean, come on, man. He's told you several times that he's not going to travel to South Dakota. He doesn't want to match with you. So I just think you need to lay off and move on. You need to work on your own company first and try to get your own stuff going before you challenge out these guys for crossovers, in my opinion. Yes, H2, I'd agree. Mark Williams is a crybaby bitch. You can hashtag that all day, every day. We've done it before. I know you weren't trying to be a dick or anything, but you just got to lay off a little bit. Good to see you, White Eagle. I might have to do that. I'll check it out for you, man. I can't say when exactly, but I'll check out KWY Wrestling sometime on YouTube. I did see, I don't know if I subscribed to it yet or not, but I have seen it on there. I just haven't gotten into it. But yeah, like I was saying, I also got a new show called Rivals that'll be coming out soon. We've got Damon Sky that'll be on here from Proving Ground. DBW, LCW will be on here next week at some point. Right now, him and I are talking probably next Thursday at some time. How do I think my show is going? You know what? I'm going to bounce that one right back at you RAS Rivals. That's going to be a brand new show coming out. I'll explain more about it in a little bit. Just give me a bit. Yeah, no problem. Happy to follow people on Twitter, especially if they're BYW related. I think my show's going okay, but I'd honestly like to hear from people that watch the show what they think of the show more so. Hey, Darkside, good to see you. It's because the sun's shining right through the curtain right on my face at the moment because it's almost 6 o'clock and the sun's setting here in Michigan. Well, thanks, Riley. I might have to put that out there and see what people think about it. They wouldn't answer it on Twitter anyways. You want an explanation, Yankee? I'll give you an explanation. Rivals is going to be where I take, I gave an example earlier, one of the first episodes, if not the first episode, I'm going to do is have the VTW reunion Rumble winner Chase Bridges, and then the VTW World Heavyweight Champion, whether that be Casey Chambers or Jamal Payne. And it's cold here too in Michigan, but I'm sure it's cold in North Carolina. It's only like the upper 20s, I think, outside right now. Low 30s, one or the other. But anyway, and I'm going to have them on the show. Just mentioned it. And I'm going to have them on the show and we'll do, I haven't decided really what all I want to do for it yet, but for one thing, I actually got an idea from Jamal Payne of all people last night of how partially to run it. Kind of like UFC runs their interviews and do like, let's see, asking how each person's preparing for matches, for their match coming up, thoughts on their opponents, goals, and what they want to prove in the upcoming match. And things like that, especially when you bring on guys that have a past, like if it's Jamal Payne and Chase Bridges, just think of the past that they had before they even came to VTW. That'd be easy to play off of. So those two will be a couple of the first ones, if not the very first ones. We'll see. Because I kind of asked somebody else to be my first guest on a rival show, but that had to get changed a little bit, if not moved around. So we'll see what happens. Also, for everybody who doesn't know yet, I have another news show that will be debuting. I'm planning sometime in April that a couple guys in the chat room, or at least one of the guys in the chat room, is supposed to be a part of. Good to see you, Drew. Maybe we'll have to. Thanks, man. I think it'll be something different and great to have on here. So rivals, I think it'll be good. But no, I'm letting the cat out of the bag here. Myself and a couple other guys, whether or not they want to be mentioned or not, Yankee and J Joker Designs are actually working a little bit. We haven't done too much work with it yet, but we're working on bringing out a fantasy backyard wrestling show as well. Something that we'll do once a month, and that'll be also another new show. We're in the early concepts, early figuring out of what we want to do for that. It'll either be April or May, one of the two that'll debut. I just want to get a little more variety on the channel and give people more of a chance to see what they want to have on here. So yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. Getting a couple other things. Oh, that rival show also is going to be either once a month or once every 2 or 3 weeks, somewhere around there. It won't be an every week thing. I'm still going to do these interviews once a week, though, like having Drew on here the other night, Damon Scar next week. I'm going to try and make it so that we don't have this people from the same companies on here every other week or every couple weeks. But because I'm going with VTW was this week with Drew. Next week, we got Damon Scar, who's from DBW, LCW, Proving Ground. And then the following week, we might have an NUW guy on. I've been in talks with the King of the Mountain himself, Naman McDonald, for somebody else from NUW to come on. So we'll see what happens with that. And then maybe we'll bring on a VTW guy. We'll see. It partially depends on when I start this rival show too. So especially when, like I said, one of the first shows I want to do for rivals will be Chase Bridges and whoever the VTW World Champion is after Fury. What are you talking about? Match between Yankee and Cage? I have no idea. Good to see Jason Atlas. We we're talking about somebody that you might be a little familiar with earlier on. You'll have to go back and watch later. So I'm not going to mention it again. One Timey Dong. Oh, for the fantasy BYW. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, well, like I said, we're in the early stages of figuring that out, so we'll see where it goes from there. Vince Russo? What poll? I'm confused. Oh. But anywho. But yeah, Yankee, you mentioned Stand Your Ground earlier. Again, like I said earlier, I think it's going to be a very good show. I mean, from top to bottom, it looks like a pretty well put together show. I would mention all the matches, but I ain't sure that I'd forget any right off the top of my head. So I know you've got Mike Perillo going against Victor Van Pelt for the Proving Ground Championship in the main event. You don't really know Timey Dong like that. He's fucking weird. Okay, gotcha. I said he's kind of funny, but yeah, well. Okay, so I'll get more into Proving Ground stuff later, but Riley Bates wants to know, how do I feel of him doing a BYW Slammy Awards? I had thought about doing an award show of some sort and got talked out of it for good reasons. So I'll put that out there first of all. And I think it's okay. I just think it's a popularity contest for the most part. So some people might get butthurt by it, but you know, it is what it is. If you want to do it, if it's something you enjoy, go for it. Oh, the one to have back on the show. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I forgot about that. I was gonna do a Q&A with you, and then I ended up taking that hiatus. Lips Ustalo and Everett Creed, I believe, were the three others that were on there. Yeah, I forgot about that poll. My bad. But no, Jason, we might get you back on here at some point. We'll see. I mean, might as well. And I'm going to try to do somebody from a different company just about every week if I can. So we'll find out what happens. I'm kind of dropping the Q&As for the most part because I do the questions and read the questions off in the comment section as we go along with everybody's shows. But I can bring you on for mainly just make it so that the viewers are asking all the questions. What are you talking about? Lips and Everett Creed aren't the same person? There's complete difference between those two. I should know I've interviewed both of them. But yeah, back to Proving Ground for a moment while you guys are typing stuff, perhaps. Like I said, I know Mike Perillo is going against Victor Van Pelt for the Proving Ground Championship. I know there's a 6-pack challenge for. They don't look alike. I don't know what you're talking about. 6-pack challenge to determine the first ever Proving Ground Rising Star champion, which I think is going to be an amazing match. I'm not going to give any predictions for that show, though. I'll just mention the matches, a couple of matches anyway. Ooh, I'm looking forward to seeing, speaking of Damon Scar, looking forward to seeing him facing David Lowell as well at Proving Ground. Stand Your Ground. Or Lowell, I guess is how it's pronounced. But anywho. So keep questions coming if you guys got any. I'll mention before, I'll mention it again. So we got a few people in here watching. I'll answer any questions. Mainly prefer them to be wrestling related. But yeah, I thought he was pronouncing it Lowell instead of Lowell in the video that he posted yesterday. I was like, really? But still. I thought that's how it's pronounced, it was Lowell. Yeah, because Riley asked me earlier what I thought of his call out of D-Lock for VTW Mania. So which I mentioned what I thought of that. I think it's a good thing for David to be challenging one of the upper tier guys for Mania if he's going to be there anyways, and I think it'll be good to see him in a singles match in BTW. He's got to go. You lost my camera here for a moment, but how did I get my name Tiger Talks Wrestling? Well, the easy thing is, Tiger is because Tiger has always been my nickname, because being Tony, it's my name and just a nickname I've always had since I was a kid. And H2 actually was the one that suggested Tiger Talks Wrestling. I put it in a poll on Twitter between that, and I can't even remember what the other name was. If anybody does or can find it, good job. But the poll went down, and the majority of people voted for Tiger Talks Wrestling. Everything else is history. I wasn't trying to steal anything from anybody else because I didn't even realize Harry Talks Wrestling was a thing really at that point in time, to be honest. But it's just like I said, it was a Twitter poll. That's the one that won out by the two, and therefore, Tiger Talks Wrestling it is. All right, I gotta mention that. Jason saying you can go into DBW Total Domination 3 to continue to yuck on the Teletubby champion's yum by taking everything that he cares about. That's not a rivalry. That's just going to be a sad little man. That is interesting, and I'm sure your paths will cross with Casey at some point when you're there at Total Domination 3. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of you. Thank you, WF, saying Tiger Talks is awesome. Tiger Talks Tigers. I could. I mean, we have the Detroit Tigers here in Michigan as well. So, but no, that's a baseball team. Well, thank you. I don't know necessarily I'd go that far, but I appreciate it, Riley. Saying that I make BYW what it is today. I appreciate that. But like I said, I can't take that one. I appreciate it, but I can't take that one. It's the guys that put their bodies on line and do all the wrestling and all the people behind the scenes that do all the editing and all that stuff. Those are the guys that make BYW what it is today. Speak of the devil, Timey Dong has entered the building. Yippee. Well, since you're here now, I'll mention this again. I see that he's here. I'll mention this again to you. I seen your karaoke video, and I seen your call out at the end of it. You got 3 problems with that, though. Number 1, nobody from VTW's actually asked me to come to Best in the Yard, so I don't have an invite. 2, I'd have to have not only the invite, but I'd have to have the address to get there. And 3, I don't know that I have the money to get there. And I just answered your question if I would accept your challenge. If I got the invite and I was able to afford it to get there, you're damn right I'd make sure I got a piece of you. Even though you should be worrying more about people that actually do wrestle instead of a guy that just sits here on the other side of the camera and just talks. Has no wrestling skills whatsoever. But I'll give you this much. Your karaoke videos are hilarious. That's all you'll get from me, though, on that. I'll still watch them. I'll support it. But that was one of the main reasons I did this podcast today, was because I wanted to address that. If I went to Best in the Yard, would I do commentary? I would do commentary if they asked me to. I'm not going to ask anybody else to do it. I didn't ask H2 or Mickey Matthews if I could join him on NWF. It's pay-per-view not that long ago. They asked me, and I was more than happy to join them. So anytime that anybody would like my perspective on anything, I'd be happy to join commentary or anything else, whether it be prediction shows or whatever. Just putting that out there if anybody hasn't figured that out yet. Dong will bring me down to Chinatown. I don't know what you're smoking, bud. Don't know what you're smoking, but yeah, I ain't going to no Chinatown. I seen Riley, speaking of that Slammy Awards, I seen you posted the winners today. So are you still even doing the Slammy Award video? My question on that. It's been almost an hour long. I'm glad you guys have been keeping involved here, because I was figuring with nobody in for the first few minutes that this video was going to be rather short, like the rest of my solo videos usually are. You know what? Let me put this out there. Jason Atlas was on here recently. He was in the chat room earlier. Don't think he is at the moment, but he said something to me about, I come on here and ask people questions all the time for Tiger Talks Wrestling. If anybody really, really wants to come on to my channel and ask me questions, whether that be anything, oh, he's still here, okay. That be anything to do with backyard wrestling, I'd be more than happy to turn over the reins for one episode at least. And I'd answer any other questions that are based off of Best in the Yard or anything like that. Will I do predictions for Final Countdown for your company, Riley Bates? I'm probably going to say no on that, because I haven't even been really doing them for BTW or anybody else. Maybe. We'll see. Well, thank you, Jason. Tells me not to waste my time with dumb, classless idiots like Tommy Dong, that I'm better than that, though he'd love to see me climb in a ring and embarrass him. Hey, you never know. It could happen. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, stranger things have happened in backyard wrestling, haven't they? I have stepped into a ring. I just haven't gotten physical. We could. I wasn't. Yeah, it could be you. I was going to say it could be anybody, but it'd be interesting to do. I'll put a poll out there and see, or put it out there to see if people have any specific person in mind that they'd want to see do that. Put you out there. I don't think it's something I just want to pick one person to do, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I know, Riley, you want me to come on to your show, and that might happen at some point. Maybe. It just depends on what day and time you want to do it, and if I'm available the same time and day that you are. And I'd also have a few other stipulations, too, after seeing the first couple episodes that you did of your show. But I'm not going to talk about that here. Oopsie. There goes my video again. Oh. Oop. Well, I don't know. Would the disease be the best person to choose to do something like that? Why are you doing that? I mean, you go crazy. You think the tiger is with... Do you not know me very well? I don't do what I'm told all the time, bud. But no, I'd probably give you first priority since you did come up with that idea. Yes, the topic for the most part is about backyard wrestling and wrestling in general. King Dominator, since you asked. Ooh. I'll let you do occasional questions that are off of that. But what was my favorite cartoon show when I was a kid? That's tough. I watched so many cartoons when I was a kid, really. But I was always a big fan of Scooby-Doo. So I'd probably have to say that. I was a fan of Looney Tunes in a way too. I was a big Bugs Bunny fan when I was a kid. Still am. So yes, Jason, I know it comes out now and again. You can't control it anymore. That's okay. No need to apologize. The disease is there. We know it. Have I heard of a backyard wrestling company called EBW Wrestling? I think I've heard of it. Have I watched it? No. Yes, Rutro Raggy. I've always been a big Scooby-Doo fan. So I used to watch Turtles when I was younger. I watched the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers back in the day. For anybody who doesn't know, I am 32. So when I was a kid, it was in the early mid 90s. So but yeah, we'll keep them coming, guys. We'll, like I said, as long as you guys keep the comments chat section going, I'll stay on here for however long. But Ivan Ooze was the go. Ivan Ooze was definitely interesting. That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. All right. So, yes, I won't forget to watch that. I plugged NWF Adrenaline. Will be on the air live at 8:30 p.m. on the NWF Adrenaline YouTube channel. Oops, I just plugged it again. Have I seen the Tigers company called ASW Backyard Wrestling? I've heard of it. No, I don't think I've seen that either. Nice. Ecstatic. Hey, wait a minute. Okay, never mind. Seen that too. Mikey Nitro. Yeah, he's a character. Anywho. Did I think when John Cena called out The Undertaker for WrestleMania on Raw, did I think it would happen? I was hoping that The Undertaker would show up, and I still believe that is the match that they're planning on doing. Ooh, I love it when people break news here on Tiger Talks Wrestling. It's a fun thing to do. Darkseid says that he has something to break here first for me, just for the show. Let's hear it. King Dominator says, have you seen Tiger from KEW wrestle before? I don't think that I have. I haven't really watched, I'll be honest with you, bud, I haven't really watched a whole lot of your stuff either, because I'm not that big of a fan of watching people wrestle in a yard or in their living room or all that stuff. I just think you need a little bit more practice, but that's just me. Sorry, no offense, but I'm not that huge of a fan. In the Dark Side's breaking news is that there will be a new episode of NUW Slaughterhouse released this Sunday night. It's great to hear. I knew the King of the Mountain, Nevada McDonald himself, said yesterday that we might see more NUW by the end of the week. So, breaking news there for you guys. Make sure to watch NUW Slaughterhouse this Sunday night. Time to be determined, I suppose. More than likely around, I'll say to be determined still then. Thanks for that breaking news, Darkseid. Yeah. Atlas, that's a good question. Do I think Raw is finally starting to get tolerable? Some aspects, yes. Some aspects, no. I will always watch it, the 3 hours, because I'm a huge WWE fan and watch everything that I can. Even if I don't watch it like NXT, I don't watch every single week. I eventually sit down and watch several episodes in a row. But I think it is, for the most part, it's WrestleMania season. That's going to make it even better. Because that's the time of the year that it always does. Now, what will be interesting, in my opinion, is the reports that have been coming out the last couple of days that WWE is in talks with Fox Sports. And Fox Sports is really pushing to try and pick up WWE for next year, towards the end of the year, next fall, in 2019, to move over to Fox Sports from NBC's Universal. And then there's talks that Raw will be on Fox, on broadcast television, instead of on USA Network. And we'll probably go back down to 2 hours. Now, I think that'll be even better, but we'll see. All right, Riley Bates says he's got breaking news. We'll see what that is. King Dominator, even though I wrestle in the living room or loft, I basically still entertain the fans and everyone that watch, but don't worry, no one offended. I'm fine with your opinion. Glad to hear that. And at least you're doing something. I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess. And Jason, they aren't playing the same rerun mid-card bullshit, and my boy Rollins is finally a singles competitor again. All good news to me. Agree with that. I am very happy to see Seth Rollins get in that spot, getting a singles push now that Jason Jordan's been injured. Don't want anybody getting injured. I'm not happy that Jordan's injured. I am, but I'm not. Let's put it that way. And I think that Rollins, Balor, and Miz, that is the match it looks like they're going to go for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. I think that match could steal the show. Putting that out there. So Riley Bates says he's doing a Saturday live stream on a different channel called Crazy Eyeballs. Okay. Good to know. Never heard of them, but good to know. Now, on the flip side, Jason, of your question for that, SmackDown needs help. Period. Plain and simple. They need help. Ever since the Superstar shakeup last year, it sucked. Plain and simple. I think what they're going back to the New Day and Usos feud is one way that they're trying to fix it, throwing in the Legend Brothers too. I just think it's a clusterfuck, pretty much. That they're doing a 6-pack challenge now for the WWE Championship at the pay-per-view, Fastlane, but well, let me put it this way for you, Jason. I don't really listen to heavy metal music that much, other than possibly from Backyard Wrestling. Favorite band? Damn, that's tough. I'm a guy that likes to listen to classic rock and pop more so than anything else. But one of my all-time favorite bands was actually Creed. So Creed, Nickelback would have to be in there. Green Day, Queen. There's several of them. Always gaming channel. Okay, that's cool that you'll be on your gaming channel doing a live stream on Saturday. All right, good to know, Riley. All right. Yeah, SmackDown is starting to drown. I'm hoping there was rumors at one point that they're going to do another draft at Backlash after WrestleMania. I'm hoping that they do. I believe Backlash is a pay-per-view right after WrestleMania. And that SmackDown gets help because they need it. There's too much going on. Also, I heard recently that John Cena's moving over to SmackDown is to try to help him out there for WrestleMania season as well after Fastlane to build his WrestleMania match on SmackDown with The Undertaker more than likely, which I think will help SmackDown in a lot of ways. Yeah, for Mania, I would have loved, I know we're not going to get it, but I also would have loved to have seen Daniel Bryan and The Miz again. That would have been awesome. But unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see Daniel Bryan inside a WWE ring again, which sucks. TOP. What? So, we're going to keep them going, or are we going to be stopping here? I'm waiting to see, guys. But, Yankee wasn't here earlier. Oh, Another match that'll happen at Proving Ground. I know I was talking about it earlier. No, Casey James, I believe, is going to be doing an open challenge as well there. That'll be interesting to see who answers that. Wink, wink, not judge. Do I think we are getting Bobby Lashley? And if we do, I thought I'd care more. And do you think they are bringing Neville back? Okay, so that's a two-part question. I'll answer it this way. Definitely, Bobby Lashley is coming back to WWE. I've pretty much seen that it's pretty much a done deal. They're just waiting to bring him back. I don't know if they're going to wait till after WrestleMania or have him return at WrestleMania or when exactly he'll be back. But from what it sounds like, he is definitely coming back to WWE. And I think if he does and they have him and Brock Lesnar go at it, I think that would be a huge match. We'll see. I don't know how much longer Brock Lesnar is going to be around after what we've seen with him and Dana White with that picture a couple weeks ago and him last weekend, and then him no showing on Raw this past Monday night. I don't know. We just got to wait and see where that whole thing goes. And as for Neville possibly being brought back, they have to. In my opinion, they have to bring him back. How exactly they will, I don't know. In my opinion, if he goes back to 205 Live, it'll be because Triple H is now running the show. He is in control of all 205 Live stuff. And I think that might make a difference because it's more wrestling heavy now. And I think that's part of what Neville's problem was. But I don't know for sure. So I would love to see Neville back and see him dominate the cruiserweights again, or even see him go up to Raw or SmackDown if he wanted to compete. Just if they put him on Raw or SmackDown, they gotta give him something. Give him a mid-card push. Give him an Intercontinental title or a U.S. title. They can't just let him drown like he was before he was part of the Cruiserweight division. Riley asked, do I think that Daniel Bryan versus Shane McMahon would happen at WrestleMania? And there are rumors about Daniel that he is able to come back to a match. I'd heard rumors at one point that Daniel possibly could come back for a match. I don't think we're going to see it, though. I don't know where exactly this whole Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon feud's going. It might be Shane McMahon ends up getting a tag team partner and going against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania with with Daniel Bryan and Kevin in Sami's corner. I don't know. We'll see. How do I feel about Hunter running 205 Live? I think it's great. I think it's about time, honestly. He should have been running it from the beginning because the Cruiserweight Classic was amazing. Nobody can argue that. And then when 205 Live came and Triple H wasn't in charge no more, Vince McMahon was. Vince has never known what to do with cruiserweights. So, and you've seen it with this Cruiserweight Championship tournament since Triple H took over. 205 Live has been better, in spades better than what the old version was. So, Jason Atlas says, good to see Lesnar leaving after Mania and Paul Heyman managing Ronda. She really needs a mouthpiece. I don't think she's that bad of a talker, but still, Paul Heyman with her would be awesome. Neville should get pushed past the cruiserweights and go for the IC or US. Yep, he should. All right. Thanks for joining in and asking a bunch of questions, Riley. I appreciate it. But yeah. Since you and Jason Atlas are the only two talking right now, I guess that'll leave me and Jason Atlas at the moment. No problemo. Whatever. Anywho's it. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what NUW Slaughterhouse episode. Oof, I shouldn't say because I don't know for sure. Episode 4, I think, or something like that. Will be this Sunday. I could be wrong. If Darkside's still in there, tell me that I'm wrong if I am. But one last question from Riley Bates. Okay, go ahead. Ask away. You think you'll be sending me a better shirt than Murder Club shirt, huh? Well, I'm not asking for anything, so. What do I think of Ronda versus Stephanie at WrestleMania? It's not going to be a one-on-one match. I'm pretty certain of that. It's supposed to be, from what I've heard, a tag team match. Nice. That's cool. Let me tell you what I think about the partners that Ronda's supposed to have. It's going to be Stephanie McMahon and Triple H versus Ronda Rousey and a partner. Ronda, in my opinion's partner should have been The Rock after what happened at WrestleMania a few years ago. However, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Sounds good, Jason. It looks like it'll be Kurt Angle teaming with him. With her, rather, I mean. Which is okay. But I'd honestly rather see. Okay, so it is Slaughterhouse episode 4. I thought so. Okay. I'd rather see The Rock, obviously, first of all, with Ronda, but I would even pick Braun Strowman over Kurt Angle as a tag team partner for Ronda Rousey. I'd rather see Kurt Angle in a singles match if he's on WrestleMania, to be honest with you. Because I know he can go in a singles match. They just haven't given him the opportunity to prove that in WWE since he's gone back yet. But yeah, like I said, that's nothing against Kurt Angle. I just would rather see him one-on-one against somebody. Right? Yeah, that would even been good. Dark Side, see Batista in there with Ronda against Triple H and Steph. That would have been awesome too. And Kurt do a singles match against Seth Rollins. I'd have been down for that. I even seen the rumors of a possible Kurt Angle Seth Rollins match at one point. I was like, oh, that'd be cool. But no, it don't look like they're going that direction. Not a problem. More than happy to do this. Like I said, I just wanted to jump on here and answer some questions, put out a couple things, just doing random things. I had all night to myself, just about. Had an early day at work today, so just wanted to get out there and talk to people. Cool that you're in the middle of editing that, Dark Side. Sound good. Look forward to seeing that. Always happy to watch more NUW and several other companies, but I won't say all the other companies. Okay, guys, keep it going, or I'll just close out here in a couple minutes. I know he left, so that's going to be a big bite to that. But yeah, like I was saying, that Kurt and Seth would have been cool. I didn't really care if it was Seth for sure, but I think Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and Miz that it looks like they're going with for the Intercontinental Championship, like I said earlier, is going to be a show stealer. So I'm interested in seeing. You kind of can tell it looks like it's going to be a triple threat match for the SmackDown Live tag team titles, whether or not that'll be on the kickoff show or on the main show. I'm interested in seeing what exactly they'll do with the Raw tag team titles. Sounds great. I look forward to seeing each week for the next couple months should have something new. I hope so. That'd be nice. Be good for biggest year ever for Jason Atlas in 2018. Stay tuned. Thanks for coming in. Happy to see you in here, Jason. You have a great year between UWE and everywhere else in Backyard Wrestling. Proving Ground, DBW, DTW. I know you're all over the place right now. But yeah. So Demon Sky next week. The following week, possibly a guy from NUW, who I won't reveal who yet. Darkside, you might have an idea of who, because Navon might have talked to you about it already, because him and I were talking about it last night. But besides that, we got Rivals that'll be debuting in the near future. And in a couple months, we'll be having another new show coming on to the channel as well. So in fantasy, Backyard Wrestling Fantasy Show. I think we got good things coming. Also, whether you caught the show with Drew Hood or you caught the beginning of this show, which a lot of people didn't, but we'll hopefully go back and catch it. You see that there's a little new part to the beginning of it. There will be, hopefully this next week when Damon Scar's on, an actual entrance video included at the beginning of each podcast of Tiger Talks Wrestling. I look forward to that. And besides that, I'll mention again, if anybody ever wants me to join them for a pre-show or commentary or whatever, I'm more than happy to do anything that is asked of me as long as I've got the time to. Which work is picking up just a little bit, but still not enough. I'm more than happy to try and make room for backyard wrestling stuff anyway. Other than that, I think since we're down to just me and the dark side, just about, if maybe a couple other people watching that aren't saying nothing in there, I think this is probably a good spot to end it. You guys can leave a comment in the comment section below if you're watching later or not. And do me a favor, if you watch this later on or watching it now, let me know if you like these kind of things where I just come on here and jump on and talk, speak my mind about things and answer questions. If you want to see more of them, or if you think if you think it's just enough that I have a guest on here every week, let me know. I'm open for any ideas of stuff too. So, you guys got any ideas for future guests on here? Some of them I'll definitely say yes to. Some of them I'll say no to right away. But just let me know. Other than that, I thank everybody who joined me. So I didn't think anybody really noticed with how late I posted last night that I was going to come on here for a little while. And I appreciate that people did and kept it entertaining and kept us going for a while. It's been a little over an hour, so an hour and 20 minutes. Good enough show. What other show I was going to do with that one? Again, for anybody who's watching this before 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, or even after, go back and watch it. NWF Adrenaline will be posting their final stop before Showdown Episode 2 on the NWF Adrenaline YouTube channel tonight. Tune in. It's going to be a good show. With that, this has been Tiger Talks Wrestling. I am Tony. We'll catch you next time. Peace.